Hello everyone and welcome to the program. I'm Akin Oyebode. It is now 45 days since President Muhammadu Buhari left the shores of Nigeria as we await Nigeria's #1 man's return to the country in good health and sound mind. Some people have suggested that the president should speak to Nigerians, at least not through a third party. They want to hear from him directly. The president traveled to London for a medical vacation and has written to the National Assembly that he will return when the doctors say he can. We continue to anticipate his safe return to the country in good health. Do let us know your views on our Twitter handles as we await his safe return 45 days on. When the strong wind of democracy blew on South Africa, apartheid fled. But there is one thing that has perhaps not left South Africa, and that's perhaps called xenophobia. Here are some facts, not my own words really, and let me quickly tell you some of these issues that have come up over and over again. Prior to 1994, immigrants from elsewhere faced an even violence from 1994 and up about that time. Contrary to expectations, the incidence of xenophobia increased between 2000 and March 2008. At least 67 people died in what were identified as xenophobic attacks. In May 2008, a series of attacks left 62 people dead. Although 21 of those killed were South African citizens, the attacks were apparently motivated by xenophobia. In 2015, another nationwide spike in xenophobic attacks against immigrants in general prompted a number of foreign governments to begin repatriating their citizens. Xenophobic attacks in South Africa is now almost on a yearly affair. Some Nigerians few days were also attacked. Take a listen to some of their plights.
I don't know what happened, but South African also goes to this church and injure people just like this. It is pure wickedness.
It's not that we are doing a bad job. I mean, mechanic. Everybody that is doing mechanic at home, they know what it costs for someone to destroy a whole workshop. Please, I don't know.
And feeling, if you can go inside, you will see, ask the tenant, we are still busy renovating. And they come in, and I know that it's those people that were evicted. They collided with the other ones to come and burn the house.
Well, those are the stories of some Nigerians affected in the recent xenophobic attacks in South Africa. But look, the South African government apparently don't believe some of the realities. Well, if you don't believe what I'm talking about, hear what Mr. Jacob Zuma says after the spate of violence, the president of South Africa.
We should not highlight that and give a wrong impression that South Africans are xenophobic. I don't think so. But if in any kind of fight, even if there are no foreigners, I know faction fighting, for an example. If there is a fight, people loot. Whether you are a foreigner or not, is a character that goes with people with violence.
South African President Jacob Zuma, really not xenophobic. Well, what about South Africans themselves? Look at some of these guys who apparently are anti-immigrants and are very strong on their stance on immigrants.
We want the Department of Home Affairs to revoke the citizenship of every foreigner found with drugs in South Africa.
That's the leader of one of the anti-immigrant protesters. Well, our former President Olusegun Obasanjo is very clear on what he feels the problem is. Take a listen to him.
If you does not understand what happens to the elders, what happened to them, I will blame the youth, but I will blame the leadership more in any country.
that allow xenophobic action against fellow Africans, no matter for whatever reason.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Well, come to the matter now. Are you bothered about the situation of some Nigerians living in South Africa? Well, if you're not, I can tell you for free that the Nigerian government is very concerned to the extent that there will be a strong delegation from the Nigerian National Assembly to South Africa. Well, the federal government wants to send a strong message. So, you know, if you think the federal government is doing nothing, from the two chambers of the National Assembly, there will be a committee set up and sent to South Africa to look into this matter. But really, do we need to send emissaries to South Africa when our people are being attacked and their property is destroyed? Does it make any sense to spend scarce state funds to travel down south to Africa to send a strong message on these issues? But you will want to ask, what exactly has the Nigerian government said in terms of policy, official statement, other than what some say it is mere frivolous and unnecessary waste of resources? Those are not my words. These are criticisms from some quarters in the country. Well, let's make sense of these old matter now as it affects Nigerian citizens. Some people just like you and I. Well, this whole scenario is one thing that has bothered the minds of many people. Joining me to discuss this is a professor of international law. Professor Akin Oyebode joins us on the program. Many thanks for coming on the program.
That's okay.
First and foremost, how does this come to you when you hear again and again that Nigerians are attacked in xenophobic attacks?
Well, there is a wave of nationalist sentiment across the world, be it in the United States of America, be it in the Netherlands, be it in Germany, not to talk of France. I think what the South African scenario has shown is the low political development of the South Africans. You see, South Africans suffered from apartheid for decades, since the apartheid regime came to power in 1948. And the policy of Bantustans, humiliation, racism, virulent hostility by the white minority to the majority African population has left its mark on the psyche of the black majority. I think the majority South Africans have demonstrated a sense of alienation and discomfiture that Nigerians are making good in their country